My name is Natalie Toro. I'm 21 years old and I have a puppy named Brownie who's 6 months old. I decided to get a dog mostly because my roommate had a dog for a good amount of time, but one day I just decided that I really did want to have my own dog. I started looking for dogs in different adoption sites online. I ended up at a pet store because after a few months of searching online through adoption agencies, I decided to go in different places in person. And after a long day of going to different locations, my dad decided to take me to a pet store just to see. I saw Brownie and I just fell in love with him. He seemed very shy, really cuddly. He was very sweet when I first held him. About 2 days after I brought him home, he already started to show signs of being sick. I got extremely worried and I took him to the vet, and the first thing they told me was that he had a parasite. But he didn't get better with the medicine. He kept on showing different signs, so he started to cough a lot and he had a runny nose. He was very shaky and cold. I guess that's why he was very cuddly, because he would stay near me for warmth. Throughout that week, I took him to the vet about 3 times when they finally decided to test his lungs, and that's when they realized that he had pneumonia. The vet told me to take him to the veterinary hospital. They treated him for numerous things: pneumonia, a pneumovirus, a parasite, and he was in an incubator for 2 weeks. I had a small suspicion that it was something that came from their care, the pet shops, because I had heard such bad things about pet shops from the get-go. And there's always these rumors that you shouldn't buy them because they come from puppy mills, and dogs that come from puppy mills are usually extremely sick. But it wasn't until I went to the veterinary hospital where they took all these tests and found all the things that were wrong with him, and they said that pneumonia isn't something that just pops up. It had to have been from before I had gotten him, since I only had him 1 week before he even went to the vet hospital. Him being in the hospital was extremely hard for me. I couldn't hold him. I couldn't even be in the same room as him. I had to watch him from behind a glass, and he was inside an incubator. It hurt me a lot, and I was scared that he was gonna die. After those 2 weeks, I was finally able to take him home. He was still a little sick and he was still coughing, but he was way better than how he had been when I would visit him at the hospital.
Brownie, Chewy, sit. Good boys.
Since then, he hasn't gotten as sick as he was those 2 weeks. But he does have small flare-ups that not most dogs have in such a little amount of time. I had to talk to the people who I bought him from, and they wouldn't accept the blame, even though I had proof from a vet. And it was really painful because he wasn't the only dog who was at the store, and he wasn't the only dog who had been bought from that store. So I'm sure that he wasn't the only one being this sick. And I couldn't imagine how it would feel for people who couldn't provide for him, or other dogs who got sick like him.
Good boy. Good boy. Brownie. Good boy.
We all love our purebreds, we all love our show dogs. That's already cool, and there's a place for that. But when you're wanting to just get a dog and have a friendly new family member, go and adopt a dog. Go to the Humane Society, go to Animal Services. Come to PetSmart, save a life of a pet that has not had great circumstances. You will find that they are the best family member that you could add. When a dog has not been taken care of and you take care of them, you get the look of appreciation and thank you every time you feed them, every time they go to bed, every time you love on them, every time you play with them. They become great family members, and you will not regret going through the adoption process. It's an amazing thing.
If I could give advice to anyone who was searching for a dog the way I was, I would definitely say be patient and keep looking in shelters and in different sites online. There's a lot of dogs who don't have homes, and they're just waiting for someone who wants to take care of them as much as anyone who's searching for a dog would. And if you do purchase a dog from a store, be wary and be careful, because there's so many sicknesses that a dog can have from being in a puppy mill. And I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I've gone through with my dog.